Hi guys, John here from Optics Warehouse. Today we're going to be doing something a bit different again. We're going to do our first air rifle review, and this one's going to be on the new Walther LG400 Field Target rifle. So let's get started. Both actions on the LG400 Field Target, they are identical. The only thing that changes between them is the stocks. So obviously, as you can see here to my right hand side, we have the wooden stocked variant and we have the Alu-Tech stock one in front of us. So we're going to start with some points on these. Obviously, the wooden stock is a lot more basic, there's less adjustability, but it is lighter, a hell of a lot lighter. The cheek piece is fully adjustable. It does come up quite a way, so you should be able to get away with it having a nice rail on there and having your scope set up. You should get a nice image through the scope still. Right, so with the cocking lever, I've got one of these rifles and I found that with this, you actually need to take that bolt out there and turn the cocking lever around from the other way. So when you cock it, when it's this way around, it lifts up, pulls back, push down, away you go. Now the problem with that pulling up is it can catch on the windage turret of your scope. So once you turn that round, the lever comes back to here and it's nice and easy to flick down with your thumb and turn it round that way. So the same thing is going to happen if you are left-handed and you swap the bolt onto the other side. You're still going to want it facing that way so you can bring it down and out of the way rather than having it catch the side wheel on your scope. So that's pretty much a sum up of the cocking mechanism for both rifles. Now we did touch over the stock slightly with having the adjustable cheek piece. This butt hook on here is the standard one that comes with it. It is fully legal for HFT as well. Obviously you've got your in and out, up and down adjustment. So it does help with your length of pull and getting it to fit your shoulder perfectly. So moving back to the front of the gun. So once again on the wooden stock, just going to turn this over. You can see it's got a nice full length rail underneath, so you can put whatever hamster you want or any other fitting that you feel necessary to get the best out of it. So, plastic barrel band. I personally don't like having a barrel band on the gun, but if you're a new shooter or you're not used to it and you've got to store it in a case, that's probably the best way of keeping it because it stops you losing your zero and stops you whacking it too hard. If you are careful with it, I would personally have that taken off, and that allows the barrel to float and do what it wants to do. I find the grouping does improve slightly when you do that. So let's move on to the Alu-Tech model. So we're going to start where we left off with the wooden one, with the barrel band. So with this one, it's a metal shim that sits in there. It's held in by two screws either side. If you loosen them off very slightly, that will allow the barrel to free float in there because it's actually slotted in, not drilled and bolted in that way. So it will give you your lateral movement and your side to side. That will free float it and still give you a little bit of protection on that. Alu-Tech stock, we'll turn that one over. As you can see, that's also got a full length rail on there. So once again, allows you to put any hamster you like in there as long as it's got that fitting and gets it right to suit you. The grip on these, obviously they do come in different sizes from Walther. You can get small, medium or large. Generally they come with the larger standard, but it's got adjustable length of pull on that. So you can get your trigger pull right, setting it up. I mean, I've got ridiculously big hands and I can still get it to fit me nice and comfortable. The same if you've got small hands, you can get that gap really close. So either way, it is going to fit you. The cheek piece on there. Now, material, it's a coated wooden cheek piece, so it doesn't get too cold. It's a nice finish on there, and the adjustability on it is very fine. So you've got grub screws that hold this locking ring around here. As you loosen that off, it will then allow you to spin that, which moves the cheek piece up and down on the threaded bar. Once you're happy with where it is, you nip that grub screw up, job done, it's solid and it's not moving anywhere. It really is a nice touch on that. So your length of pull, that's also done in the same mechanism as your cheek piece. So I don't need to go into too much detail, you already know how that works. And the butt hook. This is the standard butt hook that comes with the rifle. Now you can adjust that inwards and outwards, so you can get it tilting into your shoulder further. Everything's done on this bar as well, so you can spin everything round, get that to fit nice and easy under your arm, follow the contours of your shoulder there. You can angle it downwards and upwards as well, done on these little coasters. It really is, as a standard unit, it's one of the most adjustable ones I've seen out there, and I don't see any reason why you would need to go out and spend extra money on an aftermarket butt hook for this one. So also the adjustment at the back of the stock on these, you can move it left or right, obviously depending on how you are with shooting, being left or right-handed. It has some adjustment to offset the rear, so you can get the action nice and tight into your chest if your shoulder's out, and it makes it a little bit more comfortable. Okay, so muzzle brake as well on these. They are fully adjustable coned muzzle brakes. So it's done by a grub screw at the top and you've got the cone inside. So depending what works best with your pellets and the velocity you choose to set it at, you can set that cone in and out depending. It takes a little bit of while to get used to, but you will get there, and it is really worth spending the time on sorting that out. So what do you get in the hard case? You get the gun, you get the big hard Walther box that it comes with, and you also get a dedicated toolkit for it with Allen keys at all the right lengths to get into adjusting your trigger and to adjusting your stock. Every part of it, there is an Allen key in there that will fit. So you get your fill adapter as well. That's a DIN fitment, so it will screw straight into a 300 bar DIN bottle. You get a barrel cleaning kit. They all come in this little nice hard case here as well, inside the box. And you also get a 50 meter test card with a grouping on there where it's come out of the factory. So one point I really like on these as well, the trigger on them, it's probably one of the best triggers I've used. The only one that really does compare to it so far is the 9015 trigger. And if I'm honest, I can't really tell them apart. I prefer the feel of the Walther LG trigger, but obviously the Anschutz trigger is a hell of a good unit, and it is down to personal preference. And I'm sure once set up, both of them will be on par. But for the money and how these Walthers are, it's definitely a fan favourite. So guys, that was a roundup of the key features and points on the wooden stocked Walther LG400 and the Alu-Tech Walther LG400 FT. These are available from any reputable gun shop. All they have to do is contact Elite Optical Distribution. Everything will be sorted out for them, and then you can get your rifle easy as that. So please remember to like and subscribe. Thanks for watching.